Yeah, I think welcome back to AWS tutorials, and today we'll be discussing about simple storage service. So this is one of the service in AWS service from AWS storage service, right? Okay, so we have many storage services available in AWS. So first one is EBS. Whenever we say EBS, it's elastic block storage, which means this particular block volume or storage can be used along with the EC2 instance. So without having a EC2 instance, we'll not be able to use this elastic block storage. So this thing we have already discussed. And coming to Amazon EFS, this is a shareable drive, but it can only use with Linux-based operating systems, not with any Windows, right? So this can be, for in your case, you can put your necessary softwares in your organization, whatever the important files of your organization, and you can share this particular drive with all the employees or all the members of your team, so that they'll be able to access to this particular drive and they'll be able to get the content out of it. And Amazon, we have Amazon Glacier. So basically, if we don't want to access data repetitively, uh, in that case, we can go ahead and select Amazon Glacier. So basically, if you don't have frequent access to the data, what we'll do, we'll just archive the data and we'll store it in the Glacier. And probably after 1 year or 6 months, or probably after 6 to 8 years, if you need it, then probably you can just go ahead and get your content. So in this case, we prefer to use Amazon Glacier. So if it is not a frequent one, and we just store it and we just dump it somewhere in the cloud, and probably we may need it in future point of time, but not regular occurrence. In that case, we go ahead with the Amazon Glacier. And coming to AWS Storage Gateway, yes, this will act as a gateway from transferring the data from on-premises to AWS services. This is what you can see. And coming to Amazon S3, we have, we'll be learning that, right? So these, I mean, apart from this, we do have many more services in AWS. So out of which we'll be learning, we have started learning Amazon S3. So S3 is a simple storage service. So basically, the reason we use S3 is to optimize the cost and to achieve 99.9999 percentage of durability. So if you just store the data on this particular S3, then we are good. We can retrieve at any point of time. This is one of the service which is available in AWS and which will help us to store the data. I mean, the data can be of any format. It can be JSON, picture, videos, or anything, right? So in real time, we have something called as Google Drive and all, right? So what we'll do, we'll just create an account and we'll just try to upload the thing based on the storage limit. If we have 5 GB of quota, then immediately we will store the data up to 5 GB and we'll just keep it there. And if you want to extend it, definitely there is an option in Google Drive also. So we'll have to pay some sort of amount to buy some storage. So it is almost similar to that, but it is compatible with AWS services, right? So we can use this S3 with whatever the services which are available in AWS. So this is mostly compatible with AWS services. And also S3 is also part of AWS services. So people who are really interested in using these AWS services and solutions, so they prefer to use S3 as a first choice, right? So basically, this is a very good option to choose to use along with any web applications or mobile applications. And if you want to have some backups and later you can restore, and if you want to have some archive the data and you can use it later part of time. So if that is the case, this would be the best option. Now coming to F3 features, it is a global service. What I mean to say, see, this is the S3 screen, and here you can see whatever the buckets we create, this is a global service. Of course, while creating a bucket, we will choose a region. So in which region should bucket reside? But again, it does list all the buckets with available regions. under a global one. So that's the reason we call this as it's a global service. And whatever the name we give to the bucket, so it should be unique across the global infrastructure. Okay. And coming to that, definitely it will have a low latency and definitely it will have a high throughput performance. And it does store the data based on objects. So whatever the data we upload, that particular data is considered as object. So where exactly we store this object, it has to be stored under a bucket. Right? So for example, so let me try to draw something. Let's say this is my bucket. So let's say let's consider this is my bucket. I'll call this bucket by the name called my bucket. Okay. So this part, whatever the bucket name which I'm giving, this should be globally acceptable. So it should be unique across the globe. So yeah, so that you can choose your name to the bucket. And later, for example, let's say you have created some file called test.txt. So this is a file you are willing to store on this particular bucket. Then this particular file is considered as a bucket and same. I mean this particular text file is considered as a object and same object that needs to be uploaded under this bucket. So then only it does fulfill the S3 requirement. So, and later point of time, if you wish to create another file dot called test 2.txt, and this will be another object and same object which we can put it here. So, bucket will consider the content within the bucket are called as objects. Each object will have some limitations. Each object limitation is around 5 terabytes of data. So if it is exceeding more than 5 terabyte of size, then we need to create another file or another object and we need to upload it, right? So this is what a bucket and object. So in order to store some data on Amazon S3, we need to create a bucket and once we create a bucket, then we need to upload our data on this particular bucket. Okay. Now coming to our things, yeah, and this is durable and definitely will have the 99.999% of durability. And as I mentioned, so each object can store maximum of 5 TB. And if you wish to store the data which is more than 5 gigabytes, then it does consider as multi-part upload. So I think if I remember 3 to 4 years before, if you have to upload more than if you need to upload the data which is more than 5 gigabytes, then we used to upload via CLA with some commands as a multi-part upload. But now AWS has come up with some solutions. Everything will be taken care by Amazon itself. And coming to S3 bucket name, it should be unique, and we'll be learning about lifecycle management, versioning, encryptions, and many more in our upcoming sessions. And we have some restrictions. We have to go through them. So, for example, by default, we can create up to 100 buckets on each account. And if we further need that, so we can always go ahead and raise a request to increase our limit. And also you can now it does charge, right? So if you want to transfer some data from one bucket to another bucket which is on another regions, and also there will be such certain charges applied as per your data transfer. So I've given you the link, so I request all of you to go through on this so that you will be able to familiar with the pricing of S3. And coming to our S3 bucket, so it has to be unique one, and we should not be using any uppercases, no underscore, and the character long should be which is start from 3 to 63. It should not exceed more than 63 characters, and we should not be giving any IP addresses, and must start with any number, or it should be it should start with a lowercase, right? So these are the naming convention aspects we need to consider while creating a bucket. We'll say that. And here I have given you some steps how to create a bucket and how to upload the object, right? So now let's quickly create something, and we will see how to, let's quickly create a bucket, and let's try to upload some objects on it, and let's see how it works, right? So it is a unique name we need to give. So that, for example, I'm just trying to create a bucket so that, see, just come to your bucket options. So this is the dashboard of a bucket, and now you click on this option called create bucket. So for example, I'm trying to give a bucket name as test, and now I want to create this particular bucket on this particular any of your region. So for now, I'm just selecting this North Virginia region. And for now, let us not discuss about access control list. ACL refers to access control list, but uh, we'll have a detailed discussions about this access control list in our upcoming sessions. So let us ignore this as of now by selecting this option. And later, if you want to make your bucket to be available globally, then you must unselect this one. So if you by unselecting this one, we are saying whatever the bucket which I'm creating, this can be accessed anywhere in the world. And here I should acknowledge the fact that purposefully I've made this particular bucket to access globally, right? And we have some versionings and also we'll be looking at in the next sessions. So for now, what I did, I just given a bucket name and selected the AWS region, and I've just also selected access control list, which is enabled one, and I should unselect this block all public access. So once I unselect this, I'm entitled to use this particular bucket globally. Once that is done, click on create bucket. See, I'll get an error because somebody has already used this bucket name already, right? So this has to be unique. So what I need to do, I need to give a different name. So let me take a today's date. So that is 09/11/2022. Yeah, this is also allowed already. There's somebody have already used. So let me try to create another two. So I think this is available. So this is what I was talking about. It has to be unique one. So this will be my bucket name, and I'm trying to create a bucket. So this is how we will create a bucket. So what did we say here? So here this part is done. So we have created a bucket, and once we create a bucket, and we did unselect the public access, which means we need to make bucket as public. So this part is done, right? So I've created a bucket, and what I did was I selected under the permissions. Here you can see, if you want to block it again, you can always block it. So I just unselected this one, right? So this is what we needed, right? So which means we are making this particular bucket as public one so that everyone can access it. So this is done. Now I need to upload some objects. How to upload the objects, you will see. And again, while uploading this object, these objects should also made as public. It should be available to public access. Now, how to do that? So let me cancel because we have already made this as public one. Now let me come to object one. Now click on upload option. Now see under bucket, I'm going to upload object. So object can be anything. It can be videos or folders, whatever. So for now, let me try to add one file. Let us see. Let's say this is the test file which I'm looking for. Let's say I'll just say first upload. So it means I'm uploading this file for a first time, and this is the content I'm trying to give, and let me save that. Once that is done, my file is ready to upload. Now let me get into our desktop where I have stored my file and click on this particular file. Now, as I mentioned, I'm supposed to make this object as public. So I should click on permission option, and I should grant the public read access. See, that is what we discussed. Right? So we should make this particular object as publicly available. And also I should acknowledge that purposefully I am making this particular object as public one. Now upload it. I'm done. So I've created a bucket and later I've uploaded some file and also I've given a public access so that it can be accessed across the world. And how to access this particular bucket over the internet. So just click on that object. Right? Once you click on that object, then you see something called as object URL. Just copy this URL, go to your browser, just select it. Okay? You will be able to see it. Right? So this is how you can create your bucket and objects, and similarly, you will be able to access this object over the browser. Okay. And for example, if you need to have another file, you can always come back to your objects, object sections, you can upload it. For example, let me upload something else. For example, let me Google it. Let's get some nature image. Let me come to images. Just take any one of this one, then say image as, right? Just save images, nature.jpg. Okay, I'm just saving this one. So what I need to do, if I have to upload this one, I need to click on this upload option. Again, I need to click on this add file and select where is this nature JPEG, right? Now I have added or I have uploaded the image of nature, and again, if I have to make this publicly available, I need to grant the public read access permission, and also I need to acknowledge a statement so that I know purposefully I'm granting the permission of public read access. And once that is done, just click on upload. So once that is done, it is uploaded. Now, how to access this particular image? Just click on this image and get the object URL, and you can search. So now you'll be able to see this particular image as well. So this is how you can upload your object on your bucket. So each bucket can have multiple objects, and each bucket can receive unlimited of data. But please consider each object, whatever we are uploading, it should not exceed more than 5 terabytes. Okay. Now we have created an object and we have also uploaded a couple of, we have created a bucket and on top of it, we have uploaded a couple of objects. Now we need to we need to delete your bucket. How to delete it? Just come to your bucket section, select your bucket which needs to be deleted, click on delete. Now what it says, you cannot delete your bucket until you delete the content of your bucket. You cannot delete your bucket until you delete your object in other way, right? So how to delete this particular object? See, there was an option, right? So what was that option? Let me come to bucket, select your bucket, click on delete, and it is saying, but this bucket is not empty. So to delete all the objects in the bucket, use empty bucket configuration. Either you can just go back and select your individual buckets and delete it. Else you can directly, if you really want to delete all the content of your bucket, or if you want to delete all your objects, you can directly come and delete here. So it is asking me for another round of verification. So, do you really need to delete your objects? I say yes. Please empty all the object of your bucket. Now successfully emptied, which means all the things of this particular bucket got deleted. And once that is done, right? So just come to your bucket, click on delete option. Now I'm able to delete your bucket also. Now look for delete bucket. Your bucket also it's got deleted, right? So this is what the way where you can create a bucket, and also you can upload some content and you can delete your uh, bucket content, right? So that's it for now. Let's meet on another session. Thank you. Please watch this video and let me know if you have any concerns or questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. Bye.